What if I told you that the comfortable, easy life you're working so incredibly hard to build is actually the exact thing destroying your potential? Welcome to today's explainer. We're kicking things off with massive energy today because we are looking at a concept that has the power to completely rewire how you handle stress, anxiety, and the daily grind. We're diving into a really powerful metaphor drawn directly from the work of global motivational speaker Sohail Ahmed. If you've ever felt stuck, uninspired, or like you're just sleepwalking through your days, you are in the right place. Today, it's all about turning stagnation into massive personal growth, finding your edge, and absolutely refusing to settle for just being average.
I want you to stop and really think about this for a second. Is comfort quietly killing your potential? I mean, we all spend so much time and energy trying to engineer this friction-free life, right? We want the comfortable job, the super predictable routine, the path of least resistance. But what if the very thing we're striving for is actually secretly holding us back? What if an easy life is literally the exact opposite of a fulfilling one?
And that brings us to the harsh, totally undeniable truth we are unpacking in today's explainer. Comfort is the slow death of potential. Oof, that carries some serious weight, doesn't it? It sounds completely counterintuitive to literally everything modern society tells us, where we're basically sold convenience and ease at every single turn. But Sohail Ahmed's work points out something absolutely crucial. Comfort does not create growth. Challenge does. And to really wrap our heads around this, we need to look at a fascinating piece of history.
Okay, let's dive into part one, the fish tank problem, a really interesting lesson straight from Japan. So, the Japanese have a deep, centuries-old cultural appreciation for fresh fish. It's totally central to their diet and economy. But as demand just skyrocketed, fishermen had to sail farther and farther out into the ocean to catch enough to meet it. The problem? The journey back took days, and the fish returned tired and dull. So, the fishing companies tried a series of very logical, very comfortable solutions. First, they fished farther out. That didn't solve the freshness issue. Then, they installed these massive freezers on the boats to freeze the catch right away. But honestly, frozen fish just didn't taste fresh, and the market completely rejected it. Finally, step 3, they tried installing giant fish tanks right there on the boats so they could bring the catch back alive. Now, that seemed like the absolute perfect fix, right? But even with the tanks, this really tragic problem emerged. The fish were technically alive, sure, but they had completely lost their spark. Because they were just floating around in this stagnant tank with no current, zero predators, and absolutely no challenges, they became super sluggish. They arrived at the market dull and tired. They were merely existing, but they definitely weren't truly living. Think about that for a second. How many people do you know who are just floating around in the comfortable fish tank of life, totally stuck in a rut, having completely lost their spark?
While someone in the Japanese fishing industry made a highly counterintuitive, totally shocking, but absolutely brilliant move. They decided to drop a small shark right into the holding tank with the fish. I know, think about how crazy that sounds at first. You are literally introducing a predator to your most precious cargo. But you have to look at the stark contrast this created. Without a shark, the fish were tired, dull, and just slowly rotting away in their own comfort. But with a small shark in that tank, the entire dynamic shifted overnight. The fish had to stay alert. They had to keep moving constantly to avoid the predator. And as a result, they arrived at the docks alive, highly active, and incredibly fresh. The introduction of danger and friction didn't destroy them. It actually resulted in vitality and life. You see, the shark wasn't there to kill them. It was there to keep them alive. And the underlying mechanism here is just beautifully simple. It's all about pressure. We usually define pressure as this heavy, negative burden, something we should always run away from. But Sohail Ahmed's work reframes pressure as a positive, necessary force. It's literally the fundamental physics of personal energy. Pressure creates energy, prevents rot, and keeps you sharp. Without resistance, there is simply no development, period. Which brings us to part 2, identifying your personal shark. So how does this actually translate to your life right now? I want you to actively engage with this question. Where is your shark right now? Take a hard look at your career, your relationships, your big personal goals. What is the primary source of friction in your life at this exact moment? What's keeping you awake at night? What is forcing you to adapt and move? Now, obviously, your shark probably isn't a literal great white. According to the source material, it might look like a really difficult boss who demands excellence. It could be a tough season of uncertainty. Maybe it's a massive looming deadline that's forcing you to focus, fierce competition in your industry, a sudden crisis, or the sting of rejection. Usually, these are the exact things we complain about bitterly, right? We wish they would just go away. But what if we reframed them? What if these uncomfortable factors are the exact things keeping you sharp and preventing you from just rotting away in the tank?
You have to realize the absolute reality of this dynamic. Pressure is either breaking you or it is building you. There is absolutely no third option. You can't just remain neutral in the face of a real challenge. If your life has become too comfortable, your growth hasn't just hit pause, it has probably started dying. The shark forces you to make a choice: swim or sink. And the crucial point is this: the strongest people are not the ones who avoid sharks. They are the ones who learn how to stay sharp inside the tank. Highly successful people don't try to engineer a life completely free of problems. They don't run from the sharks, they use them. They use the competition, the deadlines, and the crises to hone their edge and perform at their absolute highest level. Let's move to part 3 and meet the catalyst behind all of these incredible insights, Sohail Ahmed. If you are currently feeling stuck in your comfortable little tank, you really need to know about the guy driving these ideas. Meet Sohail Ahmed. His global impact is just phenomenal. We're talking about a 2-time LinkedIn top voice for 2024 and 2025. He's recognized as India's leading self-esteem and mindset coach, a top 50 emerging leader, and the brilliant founder of 𝗪𝗵𝗁 Inc. He's an award-winning speaker, a top-tier strategist, and a true growth catalyst for both individual entrepreneurs and major corporations. His authority in the space of human transformation is completely undeniable. And check out the sheer global scale of his reach. It's incredible. Through his 𝗪𝗵𝗁 blog, Sohail is currently inspiring and motivating readers in over 150 countries worldwide. His message of resilience, growth, and finding your shark is transcending borders and cultures because it speaks to such a deep, universal human truth. But his vision expands to a staggering target: 1 billion. That is Sohail Ahmed's ultimate massive mission: to inspire 1 billion lives through mindset transformation, leadership excellence, and values-based growth. He is literally drawing on decades of experience to create a massive ripple effect of positive, lasting change across the entire globe. And he does this by focusing on several core areas of transformation. Sohail covers mindset mastery and self-esteem, leadership and emotional intelligence, entrepreneurship, social change, and future technologies combined with human transformation. He brilliantly blends human psychology with real-world leadership strategies to deliver results that actually stick. So whether you're a single professional looking to break out of a rut or a massive corporate team that needs a serious wake-up call, he has the versatile expertise to guide you. All right, let's wrap this up with part 4, transform your life today. So we've dissected the lesson of the fishing boats, identified your shark, and met the mastermind behind the message. Now the spotlight turns back to you. You already have the ability, the resources, and the capacity to make a massive difference in your life and the lives of others. You have the potential, but potential without challenge is completely wasted. You desperately need that external spark, that pressure, that friction, to ignite what is already inside of you. I want to emphasize this powerful reframe because it is the ultimate takeaway of our entire explainer today. Stop calling discomfort a problem when it is actually your wake-up call. Seriously, stop complaining about the heavy lifting required to grow. Embrace the friction. Let it wake you up, sharpen your senses, and keep you moving forward. And you can literally take action on this right now. Don't let this just be another explainer you watch and forget. Book a one-on-one discovery call with Sohail Ahmed on 𝗏𝗵𝗁 using the link provided in his materials. Better yet, invite Sohail to speak at your next corporate event or leadership seminar. Put a real shark in your company's tank. Go read the incredible insights on the 𝗪𝗵𝗁 blog. And crucially, make sure you subscribe to the Confidence Compass newsletter for regular, high-impact, life-transformational content. If this message resonated with you today, if you are finally ready to stop avoiding the sharks and start utilizing them, then you need to like, share, and subscribe to this explainer. Share it with someone who needs a wake-up call today. And absolutely make sure you go follow Sohail Ahmed directly at @MentorSohail on LinkedIn to draw daily inspiration and motivation from his unbelievable journey. I'm going to end this explainer by leaving you with one lingering, provocative question to chew on.
Will you purposefully put a shark in your tank this year, or will you just keep rotting in the illusion of comfort? The potential is all yours, but the choice to activate it, that's entirely in your hands. Get out there, find your shark, and stay sharp. Thanks for joining me, and keep learning.